Good morning, my friends. Manny Cabrera from MDC Trading Academy. Today, with our pre-market forecast for today, Monday, May the 13th. Let's quickly look at our news items for the day. Actually, a very light week in reference to news. We have nothing really within the mainstream of our trading that's going to affect us. The only news that we have coming out during our trading session is the one on Friday, prelim UOM consumer sentiment. The rest of the information, although is important, happens way before our trading sessions begin, at least an hour before. The rest are just members of the FOMC speaking. Let's quickly jump into our analysis. We start with our daily chart. As we can see, exactly what we had been envisioning in the market. Market has retraced from all-time highs, finding support in very key areas. This area here, which I had marked a while back, is the area where the market is coming to right now. The next level of resistance at 28.1650, which is our SMA 80. That's a very critical juncture in the market. And remember, then after that, we have to think about the 27.83 right around here with our 200 SMA. Remember the blue light special. That's the one that most fund managers keep an eye on. Very critical in the market. As long as we remain above it, we're looking for longs. We're still in the bull market. Otherwise, we're looking to strongly move down. Now, remember, this is expected behavior. This is just reflecting the fact that we have reached all-time highs. There's a lot of profit taking going on, and of course, a lot of the news with China, so on and so forth. But the market still shows relative strength. So let's look more closely at our trading for today. We looked at our projection chart here. Here we're just projecting price levels where the market may or may not interact. It does it on a regular basis. Again, we don't make any trading decisions here necessarily. We're just looking for where the price can go next. And as you can see here, these areas are pretty clear. We have a few up to the upside, coming off the highs, and of course down here. But we notice that these key levels right here are very important today. This is a very strong support area, which the market has been using for a while here. It's a very key area here. Now to get closer to our trade chart, we go to our analysis chart, and what we can see here, we have a day that is basically what we call it an interim day. This is an inside day where between the intraday high, intraday low, we can see that the market oscillated from the low, established the high, tried to retest that high, and it fell short. Now it's coming down. Now we have the gap. Obviously, the gaps we had, I think last week we had one, or the week before that, where the market found itself in a very strange situation, expecting to go down, but yet it had this gap that was above it. And a couple of months before that, we had the opposite, where we had the market obviously trying to go up, but yet it had a gap behind it. And we had that kind of civil war where we're having the markets pull each other apart, trying to decide whether to continue in the direction the market had established and or come and fill the gap. So this is similar today. Our first target today obviously is down here, expecting the market to come and retest this area here. Very critical area. We have to see the reaction coming off there. See, we had to come down here, and we slowly kind of put together a rally until we can ended up closing to the upside at the end of the afternoon. But that's what we're seeing here. And let's look more closely at our trade chart. And there we can see our game plan for today. We can see the gap up here, and we can see that we have a trend line which is holding the market to the upside. Actually, I had run the circuit earlier this morning before I started to present. But this is basically the target which the market is going to come to. It's probably going to reach there before the bell rings. So the interesting part here is the market going to hold. As long as the market stays below this line here, we're expecting the market to continue with pressure to the downside. Okay, what we have here is a clear wedge between the intraday low and the down selling pressure of this trend line. You can see the market is going. Typically, this tends to resolve itself to the downside. So we're going to see what happens here. It's going to be very critical. As long as the market remains above this line here and between these lines here, we're going to get that selling pressure to the downside. In order for us to consider anything long, we have to see a clear breakthrough here. Otherwise, we're going to see volume accelerate and probably potentially move to lower regions. So keep your eyes open for this area here. It's our first critical test today. Have a great trading session. Let us know if you have any questions. Ciao.